USA will face Brazil in the final in the women's tournament in Tokyo 2020. And this is Volleyball Explained Olympics Special. Today, our co-host again is Kaloyan Kyurkchiev, a sport journalist from the Bulgarian television BTV. Thank you again for being a co-host of the show.
And again, thank you for inviting me to this volleyball challenge, as I can say, for discussing.
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, what we had today was pretty much one of the most boring days in the history of the semifinals in Olympics volleyball tournaments. Serbia lost to the US team 0-3, and Brazil won against Korea 3-0. And actually, it was wiped out, washed out, and I don't know how on also to call it, annihilation or destruction for both Serbia and Korea. But what really happened today, and first general impressions from the match between USA and Serbia, because actually we expected that to happen with all the style of playing of Serbia until this moment.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say that as you mentioned before, probably 10 or 15 seconds, the Serbian team was just playing for Tijana Boskovic, and she had 19 points in the game against the United States, but it's not the same as playing in the group stages. And the American team showed us that they have a big quality, they have a strong service. And after this, we can say that they have got 6 points from 6 aces, 0 for Serbia, and the match ended just for 1 hour and 20 minutes, which in my opinion is one of the easiest ways to win the match. And also when we talk about the statistics, let's say that there isn't just even a volleyball player except Tijana Boskovic that has got more than 6 points from the Serbian team. That shows that the Serbian team is playing just for her. They just think that she's the one that can make them be a better team. And her efficiency percent is just 12, which shows that there is no chance to win a match against the United States. In the other way, which we can say something positive about the United States, is that from the statistics I see, there are 5 volleyball players from the team that have got 7 or more points. And moreover, there are even 2 volleyball girls that have got 15 and 17 points with a big efficiency percent of more than 60. So the United States team showed us that when you play as a team, there's no chance that you will lose when the opponents are playing just with one singular player.
Yeah, in my opinion, the first what I should mention is that, for example, Italy doesn't have this strong, and even in terms of height, this very tall block, very powerful block as well, with players like Michelle Barch-Hackley, Jordan Larson, also of course the middles. And that is the biggest difference between Italy and the US team. Italy doesn't have this block, and it was much easier for Boskovic to go through the block and score points, even in very tough situations on a high ball situation.
And another important thing is that they didn't have a good reception, and when they didn't have a good reception, the setter doesn't have so much chances to attack with Boskovic.
Yeah, and I believe that she was playing with Boskovic even in situations where she didn't need to do it, and that's function of the fact that actually the outside hitters especially were pretty much tragic. Terzic all the time tried to rotate Blagojevic and Busa. Milenkovic was pretty much playing, I believe, all the time. And of course, Brankica Mihajlovic was not there. It's very interesting, her case, because she was injured before the tournament. She tried to be included in several games, but it just didn't work. And it seems that she's totally not capable of playing. And probably it's also possible that her injury got complicated. I don't really understand what other reason could be for that to not put Mihailovic in play. And it's interesting that after Boskovic got blocked several times in the beginning, then she tried to move out from the block to escape, to avoid the block. And of course, what happened was several direct errors from attack. And actually, in the first and the second set, the efficiency of Boskovic was I didn't actually calculate it, but I'm pretty much sure that her efficiency in first and second set was even worse than 12%, yeah. and then actually she improved it in the third set, which was the most even set for in this match.
And also, I think that the Serbian team showed us that they have got good volleyball players, but when it comes to an action, when it comes to a difficult match, they just want to attack with Tijana Boskovic. And the Serbian team has got so many quality players that can end each of the attacks that I'm not pretty sure why the setter just doesn't try to play with them when there's the efficiency of under 15% of your superstar. Then try to change something.
Yeah, but for example, I believe that Busa scored her first point in attack probably after the half of the second set or something like this. So they were struggling all the time. But let's talk also about the USA team. We're praising USA team all the time for the bench. They played several matches without their first opposite and first setter. Now Potter was back, but still Andrea Drus played instead of Jordan Thompson. Probably that was a coaching decision by Kyurkchiev. Probably Jordan Thompson is not ready to play, but who cares when Andrea Drus is scoring that many points and playing that fantastically? And also we can say in this regard that the Serbian block was on level for very few portions of the match. So it's not a surprise. It's USA domination, and it's not something we are surprised of. Yeah, I believe
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the other match between Brazil and Korea, which was actually even more one way than USA and Serbia. If you can expect that this couldn't happen, it happened. That was not a surprise either. Brazil beat Korea also very easily in the group stage. Now they repeated 16 points in each of the sets for the Korean team. Probably here the bigger news than the win of Brazil is that Tandara, the regular opposite of Brazil, was expelled from the tournament. She won't be able to play also in the final due to in the official communique is potential anti-doping doping rule violation. So she's positive for some kind of doping. Is not for sure what exactly the type of doping is, but still the only opposite staying in the Brazilian team is Rosa Maria Monte Belair. And it's interesting that today in the double sub Zé Roberto used Natalia Pereira as the second opposite.
When you don't have another opposite, you just have to make some kind of different decisions. So to be honest, watching Brazil against the Republic of South Korea, I was not pretty sure that this is the official semifinal match in the Olympics or this is just a training match. I mean, the Brazilian team was much more powerful. They showed us that, as I mentioned, for the team of the United States, they were playing as a team. What's more, when we are talking about the statistics, there are 4 volleyball players from the Brazilian team that have got 3 blocks. This shows that they have good substitutions. First of all, they have got a team that can rely on each other, and the total amount of blocks is 15. And although the fact that they were not playing with their first opposite spiker, the first opposite player, they were playing pretty well. Probably this will be the biggest problem for the team for the final against the United States. But to be honest, I said that the Serbian team is my big favorite when we were talking in the group stages, and now they were out. So by saying that the Brazilian team is without its first opposite player doesn't mean that they will not be good enough to play against the United States in the way they can do it. And also, I would like to say that the team of South Korea, although they lost with 16 points getting from each of the sets, they showed us that they are a good team. They beat it, I think, Turkey, right, in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they beat Turkey 3-2.
They beat Turkey, so they are the big surprise of the tournament. And they showed us that in the next World Championships, and why not in the Olympic Games, they will be one of the teams that no one will underestimate.
Yeah, here probably is the time to a little bit analyze, to comment on our predictions for the final and for the third place match. Let's start with the third place match. Serbia-Korea. Serbia beat easily Korea in the group stage, with Boskovic scoring many points. Will this actually repeat, or we can expect another surprise here?
Let's just not forget the fact that after 2 weeks, the Serbian national team will play in the European competition. So they will have to think also about the European Championship. Probably, in my opinion, if they don't think that the bronze medal match is as important as it would be in the Olympics, they can rest for a little bit Tijana Boskovic to be ready for the European Championship. And although this fact, I think the quality of the Serbian team is much more bigger than the Republic of Korea. So in my opinion, the Serbian team will win 3-0.
Yeah, I also believe that Serbia is the favorite. Let's go to the big final. USA against Brazil. This is a replay of VNL final this year, of course. USA back then won 3-1, but Tandara was there. And do you think that the US team is again a favorite? And what is the difference in facing Brazil than facing Serbia? Because I believe that these matches will be totally different. There will be a bigger gap in terms of preparing, because the two teams are very different. And actually, we saw that also in the match between them in the group stage, I believe.
For sure, it will be a completely different match. But in my opinion, although the Brazilian team has got its own qualities, the United States will win it, but not so easy as they did against Serbia. Probably, I think that the result will be 3-1 for the United States.
Yeah, I also believe the same thing. And what I mentioned in terms of difference between Brazil and Serbia, is that if Serbia plays one way with Boskovic, that's exactly the opposite thing with the game of the setter of Brazil, Macris Carneiro. In most of the matches, there was 3, 4, even 5, I believe, players with double digits in the team. Sometimes on 1 or 2 occasions, Caroline Gata, the one of the middle blockers, was the most scoring player in the team. Then came the 2 outside hitters. Then came the other middle blocker, and actually Tandara and Rosa Maria were dividing their points between them. That means that the variety of play of Brazil is just very different. It's various when we compare it to the team of Serbia, and I believe that was one of the reasons USA would have bigger problems, but still will win, because I believe they have more quality and most importantly, more quality on the bench. Because, for example, they have players like Kelsey Robinson and Kimberly Hill who are not playing, and probably Drus and Hancock wouldn't have played either if Thompson and Porter were not injured. Okay,
I would like also just to add something. To say that the United States would be the big favorite against Brazil is the same as saying that Serbia won against Italy, so it would be easy for the Serbian team to beat the United States. It's a completely different match, and in my opinion, it would be pretty difficult for the USA.
Okay, let's talk a few things also about men's volleyball, and especially the big final between the teams of Russia and France. What are your expectations from this match, taking into account also that France beat Russia in the group? And actually, the revival of France started exactly from this match. They then lost to Brazil, but qualified for the quarterfinals, and we know the story after that.
By seeing the history of the Olympic tournaments of the volleyball championship in this way, we can say that most of the teams that play in the last stages of the Olympics were not as good as they were in the group stages. So as we saw, the French team was probably not one of the favorites after we saw some of their games. You mentioned two of them, and maybe that was one of the points of the team that they just didn't give 100%, because they knew that it would be a long battle. It wouldn't be just for this match to play. And that's the reason that I can expect absolutely everything from the French team, from beating 3-0 and showing that they are one of the biggest, one of the strongest teams in the world of the men's volleyball, to losing 0-3 and showing that the world that they just doesn't have to play in the final. What I have to admit from the Russian Olympic committee team is that they were playing massive. They were playing fantastic against the Brazilian team, and probably one of the most important things that showed us that the Russian Olympic committee team is ready for the Olympic gold medals is the third set in the semifinal match. There, they showed us that they can beat Brazil. They can overcome the points that they were losing, and to win the third set. So in my opinion, probably the Russian Olympic Committee team is a little bit but a favorite one. Probably 3-2.
Yeah, I believe the same thing for two reasons. Firstly, France is playing very well since the match against Russia, especially. But they have a big amplitudes, and we saw that in the match against Brazil. We saw that also in the match against Poland. Of course, we didn't see that in the match against Argentina in the semifinal. But Argentina is a different team. They don't have this power which could force you to make more mistakes. The second one is more statistical one. In most of the tournaments, when two teams faced each other more than once, in principle, they actually interchange wins. And this didn't happen in the match between Russia and Brazil. Russia beat Brazil 2 times, and I believe that this shouldn't happen there. Also, not Brazil, of course. France is the team with the best side out so far, but they are not that good in breakpoint phase. The other, it's just reverse for the Russian team, and I believe that this is some kind of an advantage for Russia because in this match actually will be the breakpoints who will matter more. So I believe that Russia is also a slight favorite. I'm not excluding, of course, the chance of France beating again, but I really believe that Russia is a slight favorite. Probably we should take also into account the fact that France is already not already, but always playing very well against Russia. So it will be a fantastic encounter for sure. Okay,
I'm also sure for this.
Yeah, thanks again. Just at the end, I would like to mention, to underline that today the women's beach volleyball tournament ended, and April Alex from the USA beat the Australians Artacho del Solar Clancy in the final. So they took the gold medals in the beach volleyball tournament, with the bronze going to Switzerland, Verge de Pré, Heiderich, they beat the Latvians Graudina Kravčenoka in the final. And tomorrow are the beach volleyball finals men. The Norwegian favorites Mo and Sormo play Krasilnikov and Stoyanovsky in the final. And for the third place match, the Qataris, who are actually a Senegalese and a Gambian, will play Plavins and Tox for the bronze medal match. Thank you again for this beautiful analysis we did in this episode, and I hope we keep in touch and talking about volleyball only. You mentioned it, the European Championship women
Yes.
is starting on 15th or not?
Or the 18th, I think.
18th of so it's
August.
in the middle of August. I'm not exactly sure which is the exact date, but it's starting very soon. So another wave of volleyball we're going to have very, very soon. Actually, it's very interesting for me. Principally, the European Championships are played in September or even early October. Then it's this time it's a little bit moved into the summer, which is an interesting thing. So Bulgaria will host also partially this European Championship together with Serbia. And now a shame, but I'm not sure exactly. Croatia, one more country,
and Romania.
Yeah, and Romania. It's a four countries, just like actually the European Championship. Man, the last one was also hosted by more countries. Okay, that was enough. That was enough for today. Thank you again.
It was my pleasure again, and also thank you for inviting me to be part of Volleyball Explained.
Thanks again. Thanks also to the spectators. Leave your comments in the comment section in order to comment what is happening at the Olympics. The end is very near, but of course the most important matches are left. So thank you again, and see you the next time. Bye bye.
See you.